They don't want me to throw the parties no more. But we ain't gonna stop. We gonna keep on having fun, bringing people together from all walks of life. You gonna hear about my parties. They're gonna be them down. They're gonna probably be arresting me, doing all types of crazy things just because we want to have a good time.
Hey yo, thanks for tuning into The Source, your source for celebrity news. Check this out. The other day when P. Diddy went to court, there were a whole bunch of people who gathered outside the courthouse. And of course, some people were for Diddy and some people were against Diddy. But a few of the people got into an argument over whether or not Diddy merch is worth anything. What I mean is, after Diddy got locked up, did Diddy's stock on the street go up or did his stock on the street go down? Watch this.
If anybody can guess how much this is worth, how much this is worth?
Nothing. If he did it, nothing. It's not worth
It ain't worth
nope. Now if he did it, own it.
signed it, man. Yo, dog.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Yo, dog.
I'm sorry.
That's right, you got a signature. Yo, dog, if I guarantee you, if I you up right now with this Diddy on, now you tell me how much it's gonna be worth then.
Oh, he's gonna be worth millions.
You ready? I'm from out of town, right? I'm gonna show you
I'm from all over the world.
Yo, dog, I'm gonna show you what a real thug Phil, with a real OG.
I gotta show you respect, bro.
No, you don't gotta do it. Yo, your dog, in order to give respect, you gotta disrespect. You understand? I won't give a my You out of town, cat, mother.
I'm in town.
Oh my goodness, only in New York. My man was like, how much you think this signed Diddy merch is worth? And somebody shouted out, they were like, nothing. And dude was like, if I cuff you up with this Diddy on right now, then how much it's gonna be worth? I am done. Listen, let me know in the comments. Do you think the signed Diddy merch has gone up in value? Or do you think it's going down in value now that Diddy's locked up in MDC? Let me know in the comments, and while you're down there leaving a comment, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Now, peep this. Last night I was watching Celebs Source, you know, my man 50 Grand, and he showed a video of Dr. Umar, and Dr. Umar was saying that he just got finished reading through the whole Diddy indictment, and from what he can see, there's no reason for Diddy to be locked up, because prostitution is one of the oldest professions in the book, and even though no black man on earth should have 1,000 bottles of baby oil in their house, having that baby oil is not illegal. So, in his professional opinion, as the most sought-out black educator on earth, the feds have not offered any evidence to justify the fact that they have P. Diddy locked up in jail.
Sean Puffy Combs' federal charges have little, if anything, to do with domestic abuse or pedophilia. His major sex crime federally is he's being accused of transporting women across state lines to engage in sex. What we call prostitution. Not Casey, not the freak-offs, not underage girls, but prostitution. Why am I bringing this up? Because I don't support prostitution either. I do not support men paying for the sugar box. I do not support black women having to sexually exploit their sugar box in order to pay their bills. With that being said, prostitution is the oldest female business on the planet Earth. Prostitution is the oldest female business on the planet Earth. Prostitution is the oldest female business on the planet Earth. It is the sexual trafficking that Sean Puffy Combs is being accused of. Not domestic abuse, not freak-offs, not stomping out Cassie, not engaging in sex with underage women. It is interstate sexual trafficking. That is the charge. Why am I bringing this up? I'm bringing this up, peace God, because when I listen to the news, they're not talking about the evidence against Sean Puffy Combs. When I listen to the news, they're not talking about the evidence of Sean Puffy Combs. When I listen to the news, I have yet to hear anybody give me a specific piece of interstate trafficking evidence against Sean Puffy Combs. I'ma say it again. I'ma say it for the low political IQ Negroes. I'ma say it for the average political IQ Negroes. And I'ma say it for the high IQ Negroes. I haven't seen or heard a single piece of evidence against Sean Puffy Gomes. I ain't read it in the New York Times. I ain't read it in the Philadelphia Inquirer. I ain't heard it on CNN. I ain't seen it on headline news. Where is the evidence that Sean Puffy Combs engaged in interstate trafficking? I keep hearing about Cassie when I turn on the news. Why are we hearing about Cassie when Cassie has nothing to do with the federal indictment? I don't think any black man should have 1,000 bottles of baby oil. I don't think any black man needs 1,000 bottles of baby oil. But I haven't seen anywhere in federal law where owning 1,000 bottles of baby oil is a federal crime. Brothers and sisters, are you with me so far? Brothers and sisters, are you with me so far? Do you understand, overstand, and understand what the most requested black scholar in the world is saying right now? Do you understand and overstand and understand what the most requested black scholar in the world is saying right now? Do you understand, overstand, and understand what the premier Pan-Africanist on the planet is saying to you right now?
Yes, Dr. Umar, we understand, overstand, sidestand, upstand, and downstand what you're saying. But please, say it to me just once. Yo, what is up with this dude repeating everything 3 times? 3 times. 3 times. Oh my goodness, it's ridiculous. Do you understand how much time Dr. Umar loses in a day by repeating everything 3 times? Anyhow, I'm gonna need for all of these self-proclaimed scholars and rap artists like Dr. Umar, Boosie, and Wack 100 to stop jumping on the internet and caping for P. Diddy. Because what all of them are doing is creating false narratives which make it seem like the only reason the feds picked up P. Diddy is because he's a freak in the sheets who likes to use a whole bunch of baby oil, and they all know darn well that that's not the case. The feds cuffed up Puff because he's been accused of ex-trafficking and engaging in prostitution, which included moving humans who he paid for sex across state lines. And although prostitution may be one of the oldest professions in the books, this ain't the Wild Wild West. Diddy doesn't own a saloon or a brothel, and the only state within the United States in which prostitution is legal is Nevada. Diddy was also picked up for having illegal weapons with the serial numbers filed off in the crib, being in possession of illegal narcotics, and kidnapping. And we all know that Diddy has publicly said that when women come over to his crib to get themselves a little love, he likes to lock them doors.
They just, you know, so you have, if you don't have what they need, they're gonna leave.
Right.
Gotta keep them there.
Right.
You need locks on the doors.
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
It's a little kinky, but rock with me, but just check it out. You need
heat. You mean that physically the place has to be hot?
You don't have no air conditioning.
No air conditioning.
No.
Why is that?
Heat affects the alcohol, and it also affects, like, you know, everybody gets a little bit more comfortable and loose. Builds up a nice little sweat.
Very, very interesting. Now, the reason why Dr. Umar is dead wrong is because we haven't seen all of the evidence that the feds have. And the reason why we haven't seen all of the evidence that the feds have is because the feds are not required to reveal everything that they have on Diddy just to get an indictment. In order to get an indictment, all the feds had to do was show a grand jury, which is made up of about 20 to 24 American citizens, that they had the minimum amount of proof to potentially prove in court that P. Diddy is guilty of committing said crimes. Now, even though the word grand jury has the word jury in it, it's not a trial. The grand jury is simply a place where the prosecutors will put on a sample of their case, meaning they may bring out 1 or 2 witnesses to prove their point and maybe show like the people 1 or 2 pieces of evidence, but they're not putting their entire case on display. In other words, the grand jury is similar to like somebody going to get a pre-qualification letter that you get from a bank for a car loan. In order to get the pre-qual, all you have to do is go to the bank's website, give them a little information, including your social security number, and tell them how much you make, and then they'll decide whether or not you can continue on to the next step. Now, it's not until the next step, or in this case the trial, that the feds are going to have to furnish the evidence to prove whether or not P. Diddy is actually guilty. As a matter of fact, P. Diddy's lawyers and the feds are actually going to spend the next couple of weeks going back and forth doing hearings, including evidentiary hearings, in which the judge reviews what evidence they're going to use. So, Dr. Umar jumping on social media talking about, I don't see no evidence that P. Diddy is guilty in this indictment, and you can't convict no black man for having 1,000 bottles of baby oil in his crib, makes absolutely no sense, because the indictment is not going to show you the evidence. Now, after Dr. Umar basically said that the feds don't have nothing on Diddy, he came back and asked an interesting question. And that question was this: should P. Diddy be convicted for all of his past crimes? Check this out.
This is the Prince of Pan-Africanism, Dr. Umar Ifa Tunde. We tapping in with everybody. We going live on the Diddy situation. Do you believe Sean Puffy Combs should go to jail for past deeds, even if he's not guilty of a federal crime? Should Sean Puffy Combs go to jail for past deeds, even if he's not guilty of a federal crime? That's the question, family.
Listen, let me know. Do you think that P. Diddy should be convicted because he basically robbed almost every artist that he ever worked with? Let me know down below. Now, check this out. Ever since Diddy got incarcerated, some people have been doubling back, and they've been wondering if the reason why the feds were so quick to pick Diddy up is because recently it seemed like Diddy was turning the corner and he was starting to talk a little bit more pro-black while also advocating black ownership. Watch this.
It starts with the money. We control what's hot out here. We are fashion. We are music. We are lifestyle. We are the story. We the shit. But we don't own no shit. It's gonna take us supporting each other in any way possible. It ain't even as hard. We the originals, baby. We had all this thing built, figured out. In somewhere we got lost.
If Trump gets elected, I really do believe in my heart there'll be a race war. That's why this message is not just to black people. You know what I'm saying? This message is to everybody. But this man is really trying to turn us against each other and put us in a situation.
50 Cent was speaking at Invest Fest, and I want to salute to what's the name of their podcast again? It's Invest Fest. Early, I'm sorry. So they were interviewing 50 Cent at their live event. By the way, they had like 20,000 people watching. Like there were 20,000 people in attendance. And while talking to 50 Cent, 50 started talking about the liquor game, but he also expressed that he believes that Diddy's now legal situation, which is criminal, is kind of in part to Diddy fell out with the liquor brand. And this is how he described it. Check this out.
My particular experience with Beam Centauri in the beginning, it's great for us to work for them. It is not so cool when you start to own things. You see what I'm saying? So I made a lot of money with them too. Like there's a point, they did a deal that mirrored, so he didn't have ownership of that at any point, but he was getting a lot of money, like almost like $60 million a year at one point. So you see him go to daily on is when you see him have some issues. And these people have really strong relationships.
New York. Yo, we can never normalize being a billionaire. That's an everyday thing, man. By the way, we know almost all of them.
Yeah.
Also true. We'll have another one tomorrow.
I wanna be careful with that, y'all. When they talk about us having money and y'all look at us, it's truly an illusion of inclusion.
We'll talk about that.
I can't play a part of the illusion of inclusion. I'm totally included. No, I'm fighting for the same thing I was fighting for when I got into the game, but it's at another level. It's very important to understand this is the truth. Out of all the billionaires in the world, almost 9 billion people in it, there's only 16 black billionaires. Yeah, it feels good for one of us to get in, two to get in, but we gotta stop taking the crumbs. It's time for way more of us. Out of 9 billion, I want 2 billion to be billionaires. I don't want nothing less for myself or my people.
Listen, Diddy's recent woes with the feds could possibly have been initiated and expedited due to the fact that he was starting to become more pro-black with regard to his rhetoric, and also because he sued his former liquor bosses Diageo, citing racism. However, Diddy gave Diageo and others leverage that could easily be used against him, because for all of his talk about black ownership, Diddy doesn't own ish. Unlike 50 Cent, Tyler Perry, and Oprah Winfrey, he chose to take the easy route and lied to us for over 20 years by telling us that he owned Ciroc, while in reality, he was simply a glorified hype man for the company. See, something that P. Diddy has never understood is that in order for you to own ish that's black owned, you have to start your own ish from scratch, and you also have to start it without partnering with the white man. See, when Diddy started Bad Boy, he got the bulk of the startup capital from Clive Davis. So, Clive Davis was the invisible co-owner who was getting paid off for the hard work, art, and creativity of black culture. So, every time you heard Bad Boy, Clive Davis was getting paid. And similarly, when Diddy co-founded Revolt, he partnered with another white man named Andy Shuon to launch the network. So, once again, Revolt TV was never ever, from its inception, a fully 100% black-owned company that was fully owned by P. Diddy.
Combs will partner with MTV veteran Andy Shuon on Revolt, which will showcase music and pop culture programming, including music videos, live performances, news, and interviews with a robust social media component. We gon' build out with no engine, no doors, and tell people we going to Vegas in this. So you know it ain't got no goddamn air conditioning. Air conditioning is outside. I'm here to talk today to explain the ignorance of this whole thing, because maybe it isn't clear. Me and Yvette were covering this back in 2016 when nobody wanted to talk about it. I have to ask the question, if we've seen it with Ciroc, is Diddy the Lady Eloise of Revolt? Lady Eloise is from Boomerang. Marcus thought that she owned the damn makeup brand. He done went and had sex with her to move up. He found out, I think she was on the board too. She is the face, but she don't control nothing. Is Diddy the Lady Eloise of goddamn Revolt?
Listen, we don't know whether or not he's the Lady Eloise of Revolt, but we definitely know that he was Clive Davis's Marcus.
You're trying to imply that I hit it? Oh no, I see it. Marcus, darling. Hey, how you doing, Lady Eloise?
In other words, P. Diddy has never been the black owner that you think he is. Instead, he's always been a sharecropper who serves as the black face of businesses to wrangle in money from the black community that ultimately ends up lining the white man's pockets. Sure, he got filthy rich off of the deals, but Diddy's deals were never about advancing the black community or making his artists and the black community any richer. Because if they were, your boy Mark Curry wouldn't be out here serving as the parking attendant at the VMAs. I mean, how do you go from being a bad boy artist to like parking people's cars at the VMAs?
I didn't have to come to the awards to perform at the awards. I could come to the awards to work the awards. So look, let me give y'all a game. Nobody's here because I'm going to work. We're not staffed about 100 people for the VMA Awards, my girl. So I gotta go here and put work in. I gotta go and direct the crowd and park cars and all kind of stuff. I'm going to work, look. I'm going to work. Dude, they're gonna be so fooled when people be like, Curry, what are you doing? I'll be like, I'm working, fool. I tried to call G-Dep. G-Dep didn't answer. He didn't hit me back, so I'm in and out of here anyhow. I took the bus down here. I ain't even took a plane, I took a bus. Where to do crowd control. If y'all come here, y'all gonna see me on a cart or something doing crowd control, like, hey, let's go, we gotta keep it moving, take the picture, keep going. I got a whole job description today. I'm gonna be working. Sure is. But I came by myself. I'm gonna come break down chairs and do all kind of stuff. I'm ready to break down chairs. I'm about to move crowds. I'm about to park cars. I'm doing everything. Serious. But yo, we ready to go in, and I think we gotta turn the cameras off. Can't have the cameras on because I gotta go to work. Let me just show y'all what's going on. That's the all of the VIP tent. All of that people is pulling in right now. I'm here. All of the parking, the black cars is going over there. I gotta go over there and tell everybody, here, come over here, come over here. This way, this way. Alright, so listen, I gotta go. I'm ready to go into top security level. How you doing? Gotta turn the phone off. call y'all later on, alright? Last time I came to the VMAs, we came on the back of a tractor trailer performing Bad Boy for Life. Now I'm ready to go to the lunchroom and get some lunch.
Wow, how do you go from headlining the VMAs, being a star, walking down the red carpet, to all of a sudden now you're the parking attendant for the VMAs? That right there is nuts. But a lot of P. Diddy's former artists are out here working 9-to-5s to survive and living paycheck to paycheck because he wanted to steal their money and he didn't want to pay them right. So instead of them having money to be able to invest the same way that he invested all of these years, they are out here broke. I mean, the fact that Mark Curry is out here parking cars really goes to show you how much P. Diddy believes in his own people and how much he believes in black empowerment. And I know somebody's gonna come in the comment section like, yo, Source, what does Mark Curry's current situation have anything to do with P. Diddy? A lot. Because when P. Diddy ripped off his artists back in the day, P. Diddy was able to pocket their money and invest it in himself. However, they never got their money that they worked for, so they couldn't do the same. See, you gotta understand that the ability to make choices with your own money and also invest in your own future is very important as to how your future turns out. For example, let me ask you a question. Imagine it's 1992 and you're down to your last $100, which you have to invest in one of the entrepreneurs below to make more money for your future. 50 Cent, Jay-Z, P. Diddy, or Oprah Winfrey. Who would you give your $100 to? And really quick, while we're talking about investments, I want to give a quick shout out to DreamMaster2719 for sending us $25 for super thanks, Eugenia Mosby for sending $9.99 to the channel, and Dopa Unapologetic for hitting us off with $2. Oh my goodness, this is absolutely amazing, and I'm so thankful. I mean, it astounds me that so many of our viewers on this channel have been blessed with such giving spirits, and I hope that God returns those blessings right back to you tenfold, because y'all are incredible, and I just hope that what I'm doing over here on this channel continues to bring just a little bit of joy into your life each day. Once again, thank you so much. And also, even if you've never donated any money to the channel, we love you too. Alright, so peep this. After Diddy got put in a slammer, Young Choppa, aka Young City, from making a band, shared his thoughts on Diddy. Check this out.
What's in the media right now is this Puffy situation. Can we talk about it?
Yeah, come on. Let's go.
Any communication with him? Anything that you make?
I talked to Hawk PR, and I don't think he wants that out there public. Keeping his head up in there, you dig? And it's a bittersweet situation, you know, when it comes down to me, because I don't want to see no man back there, because I know how it felt being back there not so long ago. But I hate to say this here, but I gotta keep it G. You know, he f***ed over when it came down to, you know, what I deserved and what I earned, and the stuff I wrote behind the scenes that he sold a lot of records for, and I didn't get to me being under 18 and signing that Bad Boy deal on the Making the Band show. You heard me? He kind of used that against me and said that he'll get me prosecuted. Courtesy me being underage, and on that show I was 16. So basically, when I was trying to get my compensation, my royalties and everything, he basically was like, you ain't belong on the show anyway. So I'll just let you go, because I wanted to get let go. So I'll let you.
Yo, this is crazy. How you gonna be fine making money off of a dude that's underage, but then tell him you're not paying him because he's underage?
That's down bad. That's down bad. If I wasn't such a hustler, you heard me, how would I been able to feed my family with some shit like that, like talking about it? So right at that point when you know, once that. Yeah, I mean, after Katrina, I was on my own. Before Katrina, I was at the VMA Video Music Awards in Miami with Puffy. You heard me? And before Katrina happened, I had to go home. You know, my baby mama became hit, and Diddy called me back. But he told me to get back on the road, and I told him no, I'm not getting back on the road. My people here. So I had to handle my business. I made a choice, my career or my family. And I thought like this here, if I was to, my people be there representing me. And I made my choice. And courtesy of that, that's how me and the Bad Boy South situation dismantled.
From that point, did it ever mend itself? Yeah,
he ended up hitting me later and apologizing. because when I called Diddy, bruh, and you know, I live back there in Michigan. So I had the gold El Camino. Ask anybody back there. I had the gold El Camino. I had the blue Ferrari, Medina 360. But my stupid ass, I'm young. You heard me? So I'm not really thinking in my mind intelligently that these are gifts that I'm getting, Chop. He's gifting you. I'm not thinking as an intelligent man that I just write-offs from the bad boy company. So after when Katrina happened, and I'm like, say, bro, I need to get my cars back and this and that back. He was like, oh no, you said you ain't want to come on the road no more. You said you ain't want to do this here with me no more. So I'm gonna say, I damn near wanted to kill that nigga. Honest, I wanted to kill that nigga because he was playing with people's lives, playing Monopoly with a nigga life. You dig? And having the power to control a nigga. Let a man control me, or listen to a man's ways. Pause. Listen to a man's ways and his dictatorship of how it should go with my career. That's why the Bay saved my life, bro. For real.
See, some of y'all might be too young to remember the utter devastation that Hurricane Katrina caused to Louisiana. I mean, it flooded the entire state. It was ridiculous. So, instead of Diddy calling and saying to Choppa, what can I do to help? My man was like, yo, you gotta get back on the road. And then he turned around and repoed his cars. I mean, that right there is just savage.
Say, bro, could you say that anybody else that was in the band situation was kind of similar to yours?
Yeah, everybody. I mean, but they kind of had a shorter end of the stick than me because I ended up having a deal afterwards. Ness wanted to rock with Diddy. He ended up rocking with Diddy later and rode on the last train to Paris. Ness was always a great songwriter. So Ness and Diddy always had a relationship, you understand, because Ness was ghostwriting. Sarah said fuck everything. Right. Honestly, a lot of people be joking and everything, but Dallon was the smartest one, bro, because Dallon, from the TV show to after that, you heard me, he always said fuck you. And to be honest with you, it was well worth it. That man, it took from us $30 billion. Couldn't give us $1 million a piece, bro. Ain't that cool, so? At least $30 billion.
Say, what was it that Dallon saw early on that made him feel like that?
From talking to Dallon, he said, say, bro, it's a certain amount of time of putting in work. Then it's another situation to getting what you deserve. He said he felt like we never got our chance to get the respect that we deserve. We so caught up in the money and the fame that we're not really understanding we getting puppeted. You dig? We wasn't getting what we deserve. He was just squeezing the blood out of a beak. He was squeezing us until he couldn't squeeze us no more. Just luckily, I'm from a different cloth. Just from the mentality. I grew up rough. I wasn't thinking in my mind, bro, that I was getting fucked over and controlled and all this here. I'm just happy I'm not sleeping on the floor, on Saratoga, on Simon Bala, on Barone. At the end of the day, all the things around did to people. Look how it turned back on them. And when it rains, it pours. You heard me? And it's raining on them real bad. Maybe it's time. And if they don't realize that, then f them too. Because one thing about me, son, I'm gonna rise like a phoenix.
Oh my goodness, did Choppa say that Diddy made over $30 million on a band? Jeez, could you imagine what these kids could have done if he'd even given them 10% of what they earned? See, this is what I'm talking about. He gets to take 30 mil and flip it into like 300 mil, but yet they get absolutely nothing.
The news, like the whole thing, like when you first started getting a wind of it, what was going through your mind and how did you feel about it?
I mean, I've been to buku parties. You dig? As a youngster, I've witnessed things. I never experienced it. I would ignore somebody, but I've witnessed things just being around. It's a double-edged sword, Wayne, bro. And I'm gonna say it like this here.
Say, Chop.
I
didn't mean to cut you off. Were you in some of those parties at underage? Have you ever been approached in any of those parties to get involved?
No, fuck no, no indeed. But at the end of the day, I've seen it. You dig? I can't sit up here and say I didn't see shit. I'd be lying. I was too young, bro. I wasn't really realizing what was actually happening. And every time, like, if I go to the parties in Hollywood and all these places, they'll shut me out of it. I really don't want to say too much, but people out there. I don't like snitches. I don't like bitter people either. So I'm not saying this in no bitter manner. You understand? But I will say, I seen things. I love doing this here, Wayne. I love being a rapper. I love cutting. I'm damn near afraid and it's honest, I'm damn near afraid to go back mainstream because I know what it come with. The higher you go, the more you experience things, bro. And it's wild to me, Wayne. I ain't lying though. But the higher you go, the more it get wicked. It gets wicked, son.
Say, bro, do you feel anything that people bringing forward that Puffy has done was a crime?
Wow. I wouldn't get a piece of the humble pie. How far they going? That's a little too extreme. $50 million bond, y'all reject that. Either he gonna get a cold felony probation situation for about 15 years, because money talk and bullshit walk a marathon, baby, and you know that, girl. He coming home. Delete that. Money talk. You heard me? This America, baby. Money talk, brother.
Listen, let me know if you think that Young City is right when he says that Diddy's most likely gonna get a good 7 to 15, but Diddy's not getting life in jail. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. Now, check this out. Recently, the Grammy Award-winning record producer Prince, aka Long Live Prince, who produced French Montana's hit song Everything's a Go back in 2011, shared a story about how Diddy tried to get him to stroke his ego and his little ego during a business meeting in 2012. And when he refused to do what Diddy asked, he says that P. Diddy tried to have him blackballed from the music business. Will y'all listen to this?
Yo, Suge don't f*** around when it come to whack. Let's keep it going. Let's keep the content going. So I kind of reached out to Suge, and then from there, Suge, he wasn't like really my manager or anything or any of that stuff. But one thing, he kind of hooked me up. He's like, look, I'm doing this little brick squad shit with Waka Flocka, because he was doing his little. That's how Waka had the Pyru Pass in LA. You know, he went up to Compton. All that. Suge was behind the whole little movement they had going on. So, you know, he called me over. He's like, come on, I'm going to introduce you to some people. Because at that time, the situation was like, he came to the club one time and I was like a promoter. And we knew each other. I let him in the club. I let him pop bottles and all that shit, gave him free bottles. And the next day, he's like, I'm going to call you over to the studio. I'm going to introduce you to some people. So I went over there the next day. The people that he introduced me to was Waka's mom. We were at the La Cienega Hotel where they have a studio underground. So this was during the time they were working on Flockavelli, Waka's very first album. So I went over there. Waka mom was there, French was there, Gucci was there, Suge was there. We were all downstairs. We started cooking. So I made the album, and then they called me back a couple months. Waka's mom was like, I want you to sign over to Ms. A Entertainment. So I went ahead and I did my thing. I went over there. So then once I saw my record go #1 on the Billboard charts, that shit was in the NBA Finals. That shit.
What record is that? Don't Stop?
No, Everything's a Go. Everything's a Go. Okay. Yeah, that was his very first #1. It was the record after Shot Caller.
Okay.
So the song was out doing all this shit. Now, I'm starting to get to the point of like, all right, I want to get paid for my record with my money, this and that. French completely cut me off because I told him I'm not going to sign to his publishing company under, excuse my French, whatever he was doing. So he wasn't having that. So I started hitting up Bad Boy myself on some, like, I started Googling their phone numbers to their office, calling Interscope. I started getting around. I got a hold of Harv, and then Harv was like, this is like about a year after the record came out. I'm like, all right, the record's on 106 in Park. It's #1. It's on the NBA Finals theme. It's all over the radio. It's on Mob Wives. They got the remix with Birdman, Jadakiss, Fabulous, Wale. They put everyone and their mamas from New York on that record.
Yeah, bro, you had a beat. You had one of them beats. That beat was
great. Bro, and this was during the time where songs were lasting over a year or two, not just 30 days and out the window. So that record was on the Billboard charts for about a good year and a half. So I'm like, where's my money at, bro? So I got a hold of Harv at Bad Boy. They're like, when we come to LA, we're gonna holler at you, man. Come to the office and let's talk about. So we didn't go to the office, bro. We went to the Beverly Hills Hotel. We met upstairs in one of Diddy's suites, and I was upstairs, and we're sitting down talking. They're talking about, yeah, man, your record is doing huge. We need you to sign some of these paperwork so we can get you paid. You said you wanted to get paid. We don't have any letter direction. We don't have none of that stuff. Walker's mom you over, I know Walker's mom me over because everything's going through Bad Boy, because she just sued French too. So me, Harv, and Diddy are sitting there talking about all this shit, trying to figure out where, what we're gonna do. Diddy was like trying to blow smoke up my ass. He's like, yeah, man, I just take 1 second. Look at this. I go on Twitter right now, man. I hit up DJ Khaled. I hit up Meek Mills. I hit up such and such. I'll get them all to follow you right now. I'm gonna put you on. I want you to come with me, boy. Like, and this was, I was younger too back in the day, so I'm not on some bro. I was like 100 pounds lighter, bro. I was 23. I was a good looking Persian kid, fucking doing my thing. And then, what I'm saying? So I had that side against, with me a little bit. So, he's trying to sit there and bribe me about talking about like he's going to put me on. So I look at my Twitter. He had Meek Mill follow me. He had DJ Khaled. Everyone started following me. All sorts of shit. And then, we're sitting there. I'm like, all right, cool. Where's my money at? We're talking about my money. And then Harv got out the room. Harv walked out the room. I'll never forget this, bro. As soon as Harv walked out the room, he's like, hey, come here. Come sit next to me real quick. I want to show you some shit. So he started showing me some shit. He's like, yeah, you see, this is the only reason why I ain't paid you back yet. Is because French hasn't recouped this and that. But we can take care of all of that. And then he started sitting, a little bit more comfortable. And oh boy, and he's like, come here, handle this shit. I looked at homie real quick. I was like, look, bro, I can get down with that, none of that weird ass shit, bro. And he's like, bro, you gonna do what's best, bro. Like, you want what you want, come take care of me. So I said, bro, you get the fuck out of here. And I walked out the room, and next thing I know, I look back on my Instagram, Meek Mill unfollowed me, DJ Khaled unfollowed me, and everyone started unfollowing me. This fool literally put, like, as I walk out the door, he's like, that's the biggest mistake you ever gonna make, daddy. And I was like, I don't give a I'm not getting down like that. I don't know what you and French going on. I'm not doing it. I'm not taking that deal. I'm not doing none of that shit. And you can keep everything's a go record. I'll see you in court because, French, da-da-da. And I walked out. He's like, that's the biggest mistake you ever made. So pretty much he tried to blackball me out the industry, not knowing my relationships with everybody, because as soon as I left that situation, I went straight to Whack and Game, and I started with them.
Yo, you just don't know. I have heard the same story or similar stories from so many dudes in the industry that now I'm starting to believe that Diddy whipping it out during business meetings and being like, yo, come over here and act bad was a test. So, it makes me wonder, have all of the dudes who have been out in these streets running around with Diddy over the past few years, have they passed that test? I mean, when Diddy was like, yo, come over here, sit down, scooch over, don't be shy, give little love some love. Did they compromise themselves and oblige? Wow. I mean, cause you really gotta think about how many dudes that could potentially be. That right there is crazy. Listen, let me know what you think. Do you think P. Diddy asking artists and producers to come over and stroke his little ego while they were in business meetings, do you think that was a test? And if so, do you think that rappers and producers like DJ Khaled and French Montana passed their tests by bringing their meetings with Diddy to a close with very happy endings? Oh my goodness, that's just crazy to even think about. But I'm gonna take a page out of Diddy's book and I'm gonna end this video with a very happy ending. Because once again, the internet has proven that it's undefeated. Watch this.
Yeah. It's all about the baby oil, baby.
What's up with the oil? What you want, canola or Johnson? Making sure I keep the oil on my Johnson. Niggas see me with the oil, now they running. Wanna make sure that you can feel it in your stomach. You think you finna get up out of here? My nigga, everything's slippery for real. You walk and give me cheesecake, we can make a deal. I hope you got your money ready for the freak offs. Try to run and tell the police how I blow your knee off. If you ever did it bop, then your daddy or her. Doing missionary, avoiding penitentiary. Lies on lies, nigga said what? Nigga, get the baby oil for your butt. I got a new freak about to start with the cuffs. Police looking for me, tell they ass good luck.
It's all about the baby oil.
I am done. Listen, let me know what you think about the men arguing over Diddy merch outside of the courthouse. Has Diddy's stock dropped? Is his merch worth anything? Also, let me know what you think about Dr. Umar saying that the feds haven't produced any evidence against Diddy, aka Oil Choppa. Diddy saying you gotta lock them doors and heat up the room when you have a woman over to the crib. People saying that the only reason Diddy got locked up now is because he was turning the corner and becoming too pro-black. Former Bad Boy artist Mark Curry out here parking cars at the VMAs. Young Choppa from the band saying he thinks that Diddy's gonna spend like a good 7 to 15 years behind bars. And hip-hop producer Prince saying Diddy whipped his little ditty out on him during a business meeting and was like, get over here, cause all I really want is to be happy, to find a man that's mine. It would be so sweet. I wanna be happy. Listen, let me know what you think about all of that in the comments, and while you're down there leaving a comment, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel and share this video with your friends. Hey yo, thanks for tuning in to The Source, your source for celebrity news. Peace.